hello, everyone. It's me and Brad, and of course, Mr. Bootsy.
Mr. Bootsy.
taking up the show. Hey, Mike and Michael and Stone River. Good to see everybody. Obviously, I don't go way in advance and post up a week ahead of time, or I don't even post it in No Life Beekeeping Chat. I figure people that come know when I typically go live by this point. And if they don't, they find out. They'll get a notification to finally come in.
Been that way for a long time.
Lots of years.
A few breaks here and there, but
yeah, a couple breaks here.
Pretty consistent.
But we're always pretty much here. A couple months of I don't know how many months was it that I would 6 months, maybe 6 months that I didn't. It wasn't even a full 6 months that I didn't do it, but a little bit. Hey, Dean, good to see you. Got Randy, the Tar Heel Beekeeper. Hey, Mr. Larry. Jan. Hey, Sarah. Got a bunch of people popping in all of a sudden. So, I did a thing. I know Brad knows, but something I have not done in 6 years of beekeeping. I joined a bee club, which is abnormal. Abnormal for me. So, but it is, hopefully I can participate a little bit with them. It is on the other side of the town. I mean, it's probably 30-minute drive if they meet where we met last time, right? So,
well, my bee club is 45-minute drive away. So,
yeah, it was. I mean, I had a good time. It was new and unusual for me because I'd not been to an actual bee club meeting before, and was actually I don't know, is a keynote speaker. I was the speaker, whatever that is, the speaker. And did that this last weekend. I had a good time. They actually bequeathed upon me a nice hive tool in a case with an American flag on there.
Ooh.
And I wasn't expecting anything, right? I really wasn't. And then they said when I came back to my seat shortly thereafter, they slid me a check and a hive tool, and I asked them to keep the check, just give me a membership instead. So save them $10 or whatever from my check, and we'll see what happens. And
I can't believe that membership is so inexpensive.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty cheap. I mean, and it was like $10 for a single membership and $15 for the family membership. So technically, my brother Brad here is now. I mean, it is a family membership that I got.
Well, and whether it's $10 or $40, I think membership in your local bee association is probably the best money you'll ever spend.
Well, even
our association is $35, and honestly, it would be $35. It would be worth $35 a month. Besides a year.
My first experience being there was there was already like benefit. I mean, not that I'm looking for the what's in it for me for a bee club, right? That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is there was already a benefit like right away because they're already pre-ordering their packages and stuff for next year. So if I choose to buy packages, they've got a good price on them. I think it was $125 a package or something like that. So that was pretty good. Let me see. Temu $280 DeWalt battery operated OAV vaporizer with a battery and charger. Is it mini? Is it like this big? Little Temu vaporizer. I've gotten I actually got some frames off of Temu one time. I started putting them together. I got about half a box put together out there right now. But yeah, it was kind of neat. It was neat for me all the way around because I got to speak to people and you guys hear me all the time, but the club had no idea who I was. Never heard of me. Not YouTubers, right? They're
Not a
like,
bit.
who's this crazy guy coming to talk to us? So, um, so yeah, it was interesting. So I did have to explain best I can who I am, right? I mean, that's like the first thing. You got it. Who am I? Why am I here? What gives me the qualifications to talk to you fine people, right? So that was kind of the thing. So it was pretty neat experience for me. Will I ever get invited back to speak? Yeah, don't know. But I got that time. I got that time. So it was pretty fun. But so obviously Brad and I have talked today even.
Talk
Um
today, yeah.
so I know what's going on, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Brad, what have you been doing?
I've been banging my head against the walls. What I've been doing.
Well, it is getting holiday time, so I think we're all looking for things to do. Um,
Well, I'll tell you what I've been doing, and I showed. I think I showed this on Joey's channel on the weekend, didn't I? I think it must have been Joey's channel.
I think so.
Uh, some little wooden gift box crates that I was building out of scrap wood.
Not too different from Phil's from
Yeah, well, I
33
kind of got the idea
from,
from
from
Phil. You know, he
RTX,
was making some nice little crates and whatnot. I thought, you know what, I can do that because typically I've uh, I've been selling little gift packs to at least one of my stores at every Christmas. They ask for them, and so I take some in, and I can sell a couple boxes of honey in them. So hey, that's a good deal.
right?
Uh, and I thought, and those little boxes that I've been buying, little cardboard box, it's kind of a neat little box because it kind of looks like a box of chicken. It's got the little handle on the top and the parts that fold over to hold it together and stuff. I can't use my other hand. I got a cat here,
Right.
um, and uh, and they're kind of getting expensive, and I can't eat too much of that cost, right? So seeing what Philip was doing, I thought, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how it works out. Use some of my scrap wood and devise a little box to put some honey and maybe some candles and stuff in it. Um, so so I did. I designed one, and I kind of did it wrong. And and the reason I say I did it wrong, the one I showed on Joey's channel was the original version, and I've built, I don't know, 20 of those, and they're just a real bear to build because I made it completely out of quarter-inch lumber, quarter-inch pieces of wood, and so a quarter-inch piece of wood is pretty thin to drive a little nail in. And if I had made some of it out of half-inch wood, I could drive nails in, and that would speed up assembly dramatically. I could build 50 of them in a day probably, whereas these I can build maybe 6 a day because I have to clamp the whole thing, and I can't even clamp the whole thing together uh,
You do it like half of it at a
in one.
time, and
I have to do stages, so it'll take me 2 3 days to build one, and I do build
we've
more
been
than one at
talking
a
about it
time.
for a
But
couple of days. You're like, well, if I would
yeah,
have made this thicker, I could have done it this way and this way.
yeah, and
And
finally, talking to Bob today, and this is, I was going to say that this is kind of an example of community and including people in what you're doing and talk about it and share your struggles, right? A lot of times we struggle and we don't share our struggles because somebody is going to say something, and I'll say a lot of times people will want to help and they'll be helpful, but they don't understand all of the backstory and they don't understand all of what you're trying to accomplish and whatnot. So a lot of times suggestions just weren't going to work out. But sometimes somebody says something and you just go, hmm, I think that's the key here. So I changed what I'm doing with the boxes, and I should try and bring up some pictures here, Bob. Uh,
you've
and
got
I
you got full
and
control.
so instead of I'll talk while I'm trying to find these pictures.
But I'm good at talking too. So,
In, instead of so
well,
this little, I'll bring up
so
this
do
little box. This is the original little box. Share screen. This one. Okay. So that's the original little box. So you can see here it's specifically on the end, this end piece being 1/4 of an inch thick. That's the root of my problem. Okay. Now, uh, problem is I don't think I have my, oh, I think I can bring that up. So, when talking to Bob, he pointed out a couple different things, and he also kind of asked the question. He said, uh, see, I'm talking slow because I'm trying to find it at the same time.
thought you're having a stroke. No, I'm just
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna message it to you, Bob, just so it shows up on my computer. And he pointed out one of the most important parts is he pointed out the fact that he said, because I was complaining, I didn't want to rebuild all my parts. I didn't have to rebuild all my parts, but I had to rebuild a lot of them. The fact that it's scrap wood isn't going to cost me a whole ton of money. It's just work.
Well, I think you made the thing that it would take you like weeks to build them at the rate it was going.
Oh yeah, and so it would take me because I'm trying to build about 50 of these. So here's the picture of what I've only built the one prototype so far, and the reason is I need some little nails, and that's the key. Nails are a clamp. Like I'm using glue, but the nails are the clamp. And if I have to clamp it, I can only clamp as many as I have clamps. And clamps are expensive, and you can't just have an unlimited number. For the price of a couple of clamps, you can buy a whole box of nails. So I use the nails and do this. So this end piece is now thicker. So now I can drive that little nail in it, right? And so this is a prototype, and that's what I'm going to do. To
I kind
do
of
that,
like
I
the
had
rough wood edge on there, though. I'll tell you that.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so I had to recut all of these end parts, of course, because they're thicker, and then I had to actually um, recut all of these slats as well because the other one you saw they sit on the inside here, and I needed that extra length to
But
go
it
to
went
the
from
outside.
several weeks down to you could do it in one day if you had all the
I can
nails.
do this in one day now. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it-
So
and I'm not a woodworker. I'm like, but since you're only putting 2 jars of honey and some candles in there, you could actually offset that to the inside. And originally, I
yeah.
thought you wouldn't have to recut the slats, but I was proven wrong
Well,
on
and that was my mental block because I made this long enough that I could actually put 3 of these jars in it. And granted, this one is not long enough to put 3 of these jars in it, but I had subsequently sort of unofficially decided to not put 3 of these jars, to put maybe 2 jars and some candles, or a jar and a squeezy and candles. So yeah, so now I got all my parts cut,
that.
and
All right, so,
now it'll only take me a day to put everything else together. Are you using air rag under pin, nail them together? Yes, to hold as the glue dries. Yeah, yeah, air pin nailer. It's a 18 gauge nail, so I don't know if it's technically a pin nail, but I think you've got the idea.
but the ones that he had was a little bit long.
Yeah, I only had 1 1/4 nails, and they tend to blow out the side here because this is an end grain, so it'll follow the grain when it goes in.
But it did
So
make it. I mean, we were sitting here chatting, and he was cutting pieces of wood. And after he cut them, it took what 2 minutes to put one together.
yeah,
Like
you watched me put it together, like start to finish, all in one shot instead
yeah,
of 2 days.
little bit of glue, tack it. Little bit of glue, tack it.
And I'm not being careful with the glue. Like It's a rustic thing. You can see glue spread all over here and whatnot. So and yeah, these parts, they're, you know, old wood that's been sitting around, so it's discolored and rough and whatnot. That's what it is. It's a
Yeah, I
rough
mean
little
they look
box.
really nice, and now you're gonna shrink wrap them. At least that's
Yeah,
the goal.
yeah. So I hope to shrink wrap. I've got a shrink wrapper coming on Friday, and hopefully I can shrink wrap those and then take them to the stores. And we've got a market coming up too, so I'll take some there.
That it's I think they're gonna look really nice, and
Yeah, I think they
hopefully you
will.
sell a bunch. I hope you sell 50 of them because that's all you have.
A little more character, than the other kind.
See,
Well,
now you
as
can
far
do another 50 because you got so much extra time now.
well, uh, I have the slats. See, I have the old slats that I made, which are fine, except they're a little too short. So what I can do is I can make a box to just hold 2 jars and no candles,
Right.
which would be a shorter box, and I could just cut the other slats down shorter and,
Well, I mean,
use those.
you're right. That's one of the things about like this community in particular. People are pretty free wielding with their ideas, right? They don't really hold them back. Um,
Yeah, when you
and-
start to protect and, protect your empire or something like that, that's not really helpful to the community.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, I asked a friend. I was making these things and cutting the pieces out, and I realized, man, I can make probably 100 of these in a day or something. And I texted a friend and I said, I'm making these. You want any of these? Because now that they're easy to put together, I'll do that. I'll build my buddy a bunch of these and sell them for $1 a piece or a couple bucks or something like that. I haven't worked out pricing, so don't hold me to that if you're going to place an
Well,
order. But
and
that's not
a
the
lot of
point.
that is coming from pallet wood, old pallet.
It's all scrap wood. It's all wood that would go in the fire.
The well, Brad's privy to this, but nobody else on here is. But yesterday I had an accidental phone call. I don't know. It was it was a erroneous call. I'll say that. But the message they left me said, "We're out of bears and pints and quarts of honey. So if someone could come service us as quick as you can, we would really appreciate it." Well, I hopped my happy butt in my pickup truck with a pint of 1 pound jar and a 3 pounder. And I drove to this grocery store. Uh, Now, was it successful for me? No, it wasn't. I was hoping because we used to have a grocery store chain that was here that was called Piggly Wiggly, right? But I know the Piggly Wiggly would often go to like the farmer's market to buy vegetables and stuff locally. So in my mind, that kind of flashed up there that, hey, maybe if I go there with some honey, they'll say, yep, we need your honey. Who do we make the check out to type of thing? Or at least point me in a direction to fill out some paperwork where they could do that and get in. Um, but I was not lucky with that. Um, but it was, I felt like it was an opportunity um, to try to seize the moment, right? Because somebody needed honey, and boy, I have some honey. So we could try to make that happen, but it didn't work. It was an IGA store, so um, I felt like if I got in this IGA, maybe I could get in a bunch of IGAs
You got to
once
do
you get
that
the system right.
that preparation for that first, because I started doing that, 10 years ago or 9 years ago or something. And you got to do all that preparation first.
Hey, Corey.
Buying your UPC codes, buying, lining up whatever situation you need to get into in order to satisfy the regulatory agencies.
Well,
I have to use a certified packer for my product, that sort of thing.
now I don't.
Compliant labels. I have to have certain things about my label that are compliant with government rules.
The odd thing. for me with the company that was servicing them that let them run out. They are sold in the produce section, right? Not in the like local section, but in the produce section. And they are in every single grocery store around here, right? And they're really, I could drive there within an hour, probably be at this place, this plant.
Mm-hmm.
There is absolutely no way that their local honey is at least 100%. It's not 100% local. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They cannot produce that much honey.
Yeah. That's not uncommon at all.
But yet they're sold as 100% local.
Well,
So,
it's a lot of times, I know beekeepers who do that, and they'll buy honey from hobbyist beekeepers around, for example. So it is local honey, and they can control, quality control, and they know the person, so they trust them in their production practices and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just how you're presenting that. If you're
right.
swearing up and down that, yeah, all of this honey came from my beehives, and going on and on about that, you want to be truthful, right? Um, so as
Yeah.
far as, but if you're buying offshore honey and selling it as local, I mean that's unscrupulous.
Well, I
Not
mean,
right.
it's kind of like, I mean, we've had the discussions before, right? People come to my house, they never ask, right? They just assume that, hey, this honey that's in my jars comes from my hives. And, that's kind of, it is true that mine is, but I have bought in the past 6 years, I've bought a couple buckets of honey
Mhm.
uh, to fill
So,
the gap.
don't paint yourself in the corner on that, because if you build a business and you can produce, like my business, for example, I can produce X amount of honey because I'm just one guy.
Right.
So that's the amount of honey that I sell to my stores.
But they do,
Uh,
I mean, it is true because like the customers that come to you, like at least for me in my front yard, um, they have got they trust the honey that I'm selling them in my jar. So there's that, right? There's that trust factor. Um, so it does speak, I guess, a little bit to it. Let's see. I'm trying to read some of this. Hey guys, the link is like right up there in the corner. If anybody wants to come, it's been there since we started. I see Todd over there. Todd hadn't been in here in a minute. He's over there chit chatting away in the chat box. But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting week to say the least. Looks like Larabi.
Brian says I saw an alligator on a walk today, and Norman says, did you ask where it was walking?
Yeah, that's a safe assumption in Florida. If you're near any body of water, assume there's an alligator in it, because I guarantee there is.
There was a story about somebody who called a beekeeper and said, can you come out and have a look at this? There's a bunch of bees in the yard in a suitcase. And beekeeper said, well, that's a little strange, but the beekeeper said, are they alive? And the guy said, well, I don't know. And so the beekeeper, simplified it, and he said, are they moving? And the guy says, well, that would explain the suitcase.
That's funny. Of cherry honey today, infused, I'm sure. Tasted sort of like cough syrup. That doesn't surprise me.
There's a honey, Bob Binney talks about that there's a honey that sometimes, uh,
Tastes like cough syrup.
isn't it the honey that when he's trying to get his
Sourwood.
famed sourwood, that
Is
there's
it the
a
mountain
honey,
laurel honey he's talking about?
maybe that there's a honey that tends to jump on it and get into his sourwood, and it's not just not what he wants. It's pretty terrible because it tastes like cough syrup.
Right. I think that's that mountain laurel that he's talking about that
I think
tastes
maybe it is.
terrible. Tastes terrible. The see a lot of chatting going on. The but yeah, the for me, I had to get a chuckle because I did a little live stream before I went to give my speech, and my presentation wasn't really a speech. It wasn't like 7 years ago, our forefathers brought bees onto our continent, and it wasn't that type of thing. But um, but where was I going with that? Oh yeah, Phil from 33 Miles B said, "Oh, they'll be asking you to be president before the end of the week,
Yeah,
right?"
that was kind of prophetic, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then I go in there and they happen to be doing their officer votes, right? And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And they were asking for nominees, right? Or volunteers, nominees at first. And I was really surprised that it seemed like it was kind of like nobody really wanted to volunteer to do that, right? I
That's
guess.
that's kind of the way these days. Um, it, I can't say our organization is any different. However, over time, we have actually attracted a really nice team of volunteers to to fill out the executive and fill out some of
Well, I
the
just think about like Charlie. Charlie
volunteer
says
committees
that
and
he's
stuff.
been like the president for several
Yeah,
years in
yeah,
a row, and it just
yeah.
gets to the point to where, look, guys, I've done this all this time.
Well, uh, I our association recently, what was it, a year or two ago, we celebrated 60 years. So that's pretty good. And so part of that, somebody made up a nice little poster or whatever it was that showed all of the past presidents. And so I was looking through there, and I noticed that most of the presidents were presidents for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And I thought, well, at the time when I was looking at that, I was thinking, I've been president. This is my third year, is what I was thinking. I was thinking, wow, that's kind of long in the tooth for a president as far as this list goes. But people are generally pretty happy with status quo. And honestly, with the team of volunteers that we have, I have some really good people around me, and uh, so it makes me in no big hurry to exit the position, right?
Right.
Because everybody picks up some of the work, um, and yeah, there's really really committed people and really talented people
I
uh,
would
to do it.
when I was sitting in there, I see where Brian said he's trying to do his part and give back by volunteering. Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing when I was sitting there that that wouldn't it be something if like my very first I like literally just paid the lady, right, with the check that they gave me. If I was like, yeah, I'll volunteer for this or that to help out Charlie.
Hey,
I
Charlie.
And but then I thought I can't do that because Phil at 33 Miles B's will flip out. He'll say, I told you that's what was going to happen."
what's
And
that? President of the
what?
Bee Club now?
No, they were holding elections the day that I gave my speech, and I joined the club that day. But
That's
after I
amazing.
joined,
That's
they
amazing.
had their elections, and they were looking for people to volunteer. They kind of had the president already kind of established,
Yeah.
but they were looking for a vice president to kind
Mm.
of learn how to be the president and help out. So then next year, that guy would get bumped up, right? So that guy could step down, type of deal.
It's a trap.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. If it's that easy, I don't want to do it. Something's wrong with
Well,
it.
I think the key, particularly today, uh, and I'm not pointing fingers or being disparaging on anybody. It's just the way we are as people today, the kind of lives we lead. Um, I think it's important to not put too much strain on any particular um, office,
Right.
sort of thing. I mean, that's kind of how they attracted me to it. It's kind of like, we need a person to do this, this, and this, and I said, well, heck, I can do that. Uh, you know, one of the things that everybody kind of has their own things they enjoy and the things they're good at, and in my case, those things don't overlap. But uh, one of the things that the previous leadership was looking to get out of is chairing meetings. Was not a fan of chairing meetings, and I totally don't mind that. Right?
Right.
Um, I got over weak knees in front of a crowd many years ago, and it's not that I'm the best person to chair meetings. I kind of suck at it, but I try. I try to be better at it all the time, and I try to make it fun, right, for people, and try to get things done. So if you can just take over uh, some of the duties that somebody else doesn't want to do, then you're both happy, right? And I was going to say that one of the things, uh, my I think my first uh, kind of my first meeting as president, um, volunteerism is so very important. I've never seen a successful volunteer run organization that is successful for any other reason than they have great volunteers,
Right.
right? An organization is only as good as its team of volunteers. So I went into this thinking, okay, I need people. I need to inspire people to volunteer, because I see the people
It's
that come
easy.
to the
Free
meetings.
Timbits.
I see people come to the meetings, and I see a group of very intelligent, very talented people. All I need to do is attract those people into volunteering.
Do you find it hard to get those people to share their ideas? Like when I say share their ideas, like they do something different than maybe you do and get them to actually.
Not in general. Sometimes people are shy to speak up in a group, but in general, they're pretty good. But what I did, I wanted to give a little example, and so I held a little demonstration on waxing frames. Not a very interesting demonstration, but I had my little electric skillet there with my foam roller and a little stack of frames, and I stood there and talked about it and waxed frames, and so
Should have,
partway through. Hmm?
should have printed up some certificates and then made everybody do 10 of them to get
Yeah,
certified.
yeah, you're certified to wax frames. So what I did though is, then I called to the audience, I'll say, for two volunteers. Can I have a couple volunteers to come up? Okay, so, and it took a minute or two, and the questions were, volunteer for what? And I said, doesn't matter, I just need a couple of volunteers. And so I got a couple of people that come up, and I just, I had them wax a couple frames or something while I talked about waxing frames and whatnot. And so we got done, and I said, okay, thank you very much. That's all I need. I didn't really need anything. But then I picked up 10 of the frames, and I handed them to the volunteer. I said, here, these are your frames to take home. That's $50 today,
Right.
right? And and then, okay, so they took the frames and they went and sat down, and and I said, the illustration here is that you don't know the benefits of volunteering until you do it, right?
That's true.
And I can't tell you what the benefits of volunteering will be, but I can tell you that there are benefits, and you will enjoy it if you can find something you enjoy, volunteer for, and do that, and you'll find benefits that you that I can't tell you about, because it's kind of comes from within you, right? And it's nice to volunteer. It's nice to because it's giving, right? We all feel good when we give to an organization or whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what. With I felt really comfortable speaking to this group, these people that I was speaking with, and obviously joining their association. But afterwards, really let me know how they felt about me. Because afterwards, I had a group of people at my pickup truck just standing there talking to me in the parking lot. Right? If to me, if they wouldn't have gotten something out of it or enjoyed me as a person, they would not have spent the time walking over to my truck, standing there, and just hang out with me for a few minutes, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I felt pretty good about that.
And the camaraderie, among people, you get to know people a little bit. Our meetings quite often run till 9:30. Well, not nobody, but the last to leave the parking lot is 10:30,
Right, just
right?
standing around shooting the breeze, right?
Like beekeepers, they talk, and quite often there's an after party and in a coffee shop somewhere or something, right? So
Even
it's
like our green room,
yeah,
we have to kick Charlie out, man.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
ring the bell
You,
for last call, and he's still
you,
hanging around,
you know how he
trying to
gets.
get that last bit of nugget of information he can get before he gets out of
So
there.
you know what? It's really in this day and age, this digital age, and this age of Zoom meetings really. I love Zoom meetings, and I love the advent of Zoom meetings. And see, Zoom is even a verb now, right?
Right?
Uh,
Are you going to zoom in?
it's great, but Zoom meetings are the antithesis of the point of in-person meetings.
Right.
And when I took over as president, we were doing. It was actually when the 2020 problems started. Uh, the association couldn't meet, and so it was actually me who I wasn't even on the executive, but a good friend was the president, and I said, "Look, I can help you do this. We could set up Zoom meetings, and we can have our monthly meetings on Zoom during this time where we can't meet in person." And boy, he thought I just cured cancer or something, right? So we met by Zoom for probably a couple of years,
Well,
and and
and
then and then well, we could have our in-person meetings again. And when we started having in-person meetings, I didn't cancel Zoom, but I did say to the association, I said, if we're going to have hybrid meetings, we're going to have in-person meetings, but if we're going to have hybrid meetings, somebody needs to step up and volunteer and do that because I'm not going to do that. Right?
right.
I don't have time, and I've got other responsibilities here.
Hey, Michael.
And hey, Michael,
Hey.
and so nobody stepped up. So we don't do that, and I
Well,
think it
Charlie,
was the
still,
best
don't you
choice.
still have a group that's still zooming, Charlie?
We're still doing hybrid meetings, but in my opinion, Zoom has killed the public meeting events. Um, uh, Zoom is fine. I mean, you can get a speaker. You don't have to pay, but for them to lodging and getting there and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But
Well, we'll still do that.
you you'll lose that interaction with that
Yeah,
speaker.
yeah,
Like Bill Heschbeck, he does the thing about the condensing hive. Well, I've had him at Zoom and I've watched these videos, but he also flew into Baltimore at our state conference, and I got to sit there and pick his brain about the screen and the top of the hive that he was talking about, and he, stuff that he didn't say on the video. He would say, "Yeah, you got to watch it when you're picking that top off because the bees are all grabbing the screen, and you'll have 3 pounds of bees out in the snow."
hmm
Things like that don't sometimes get put across the video. It's fun. You guys are talking about volunteers. Even now, I mean, I'm still the past president position, and they asked me to stay on for another year. So I figure, well, I will. But um, it's still the board.
They
It's
just set
still,
that hook and just keep reeling
Set
you
the
in,
hook.
Charlie, every
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I
Well,
kind of like,
we'll bring
I
speakers
kind of
in.
like having my fingers in it.
We'll bring
Not,
Yeah.
I don't
speakers
have to
in.
do everything,
to the meeting. We'll bring speakers in by Zoom to the meeting, but we're not having meetings now. Now I have a novice session I do each month on Zoom. This is more of an informal thing. It's just something for the new beekeepers to get a little bit of instruction
Now,
or
now
help
Billy
them.
there, Norman McMillie, he won't drive 30 minutes. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's pretty lazy.
Well,
Yeah, I've got horror stories
it
from meetings.
it works both ways though, right? It's like, am I too lazy to go to the meeting, or is the meeting too boring for me to actually want to go? Right. So there's two sides to that.
Well, that's true. That's true. Of course, I get it. I kind of get why Norman is there too. Is that like I'm the guy? I'm the IT guy now, and I got to set up the computer or whatever if they're going to zoom out or zoom in. And there's some meetings I'm like, man, I don't want to go to this meeting because it's nothing there. But I've gotten to the point where pretty much all the meetings are sort of boring for me anymore. There's a rarity of meetings out there, even some conferences. The stuff the nitty gritty stuff that we kind of get into here on these channels, I get more out of these channels talks than I do at some of the conferences and meetings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's to give you an example. At the meeting that I spoke at, I asked before I started. I stood up and I introduced myself, but before I started addressing the crowd, I kind of did a poll of trying to figure out how many colonies people had and stuff like that. So I knew what level of beekeeper I was kind of dealing with, right? And I was surprised to see that I am pretty close to the top number of hives of anybody was in the meeting, right?
That's that skill that you just did there, that polling. A lot of speakers do that, and that gives them the.
How are you going to talk to somebody, right?
Yeah,
you gotta know who you're talking to, for sure.
Who you're talking to.
Yeah, for sure.
You either dumb it down or kick it up,
And I was going to say that this kind of comes back to our the volunteerism, and we have since before I ever got involved with the organization, we have a fantastic education committee, and the education committee is the committee that's responsible for gathering the speaker lists and bringing people in and setting that whole thing up. I have nothing to do with that. I chair the meeting. I kind of do the legwork, and then the education committee does all of the speakers and everything, and they do fantastic jobs. So again, it comes down to passionate volunteers. People are good at what they do, and the worst thing you can do, I think, as a leader in something like that, the very worst thing you can do is just say it's easier to do it myself. That is the very worst thing, because guess what happens after that?
Your membership stops volunteering.
Well, nobody does anything. And then you end up doing it all, and you burn out, and you hate the job, and right?
Yeah, I was good on. I like delegating. Y'all
So my approach is delegation, right? It's kind of, you know what? If this is going to work, somebody's going to do this, and force it on them. Like, just force it. Just say it. Like,
we would go like fairs and festivals.
If you want Zoom meetings, if you want hybrids, then do it. Nobody's doing it, so we haven't done it.
Well, like they'd have fairs and festivals, and I'm like, hey, you're all doing Saturdays and this and that. I said, I don't do them things. And I told him, and when I first became president, I said, if we can't get volunteers, we're not going. That's all there is to it. We're just not going to go. And that kind of thing. Well,
for me with this bee club, it seems from just obviously it was the first time I was there, but it seems like when they hold something, it's even further away from me, right? Because now I have bees in that county, which is why I joined the club. If I didn't have bees over in that county, then probably maybe not. But I do have some bees in that county. So I was like,
is there an association in your county?
Yeah, there's probably a few of them.
I don't know. I mean, when I was up until recently, I've long, I guess, let's see, there's the state, mine, 3, 4. I still belong to 4. I had up to as high as 6 clubs.
Like every night of the week except for
That's
Friday
a lot.
because you had your own meeting.
I haven't
Well-
belonged to a club in 7 or 8 years.
I mean, when I was learning, 10 years ago, I'm going to wherever I could get nuggets of information. And now, like the one up in Pennsylvania, it's an hour and talk about driving. I drive an hour one way, hour and a half. But they were cutting edge at that time. They were cutting edge technology in far as beekeeping, and they were doing, in-house queening for the club. Nobody was doing that kind of stuff. And they had their own one-day conference, and they were bringing in the big boys like, Dr. Tom Seeley and Mike from up in Maine there. And let's see, Dr. Conley, or the one that writes the books down and stuff. Anyway, they were, prominent speakers back then and all that. So, and
Yeah.
I backed off on some of them.
Michael's down in Waco, Texas.
Wacko.
Yeah, down there where they have
Branch
a trip.
Davidians.
Can you go down there to where they have a tourist down there where they shot everybody up and brought them?
Hey, I drove in through the north side of town, then through the middle side of town. So far, everything I've seen looks like the worst side of town from where I'm at. That's just everything.
Yikes.
There's that 3-block section around the convention center that is green and looks clean. And once you get 3 blocks out in any direction, I'm not going out at night.
It's like the Matrix, eh? Nothing
Yeah.
to see there.
Doesn't look like anything's changed since the 70s out here.
Well, they used to have a big complex that was burnt down to the ground.
Yeah, it's interesting looking, that's for sure.
What was the thing they had the big?
The Branch Davidians.
Branch
Is that what it
Davidian,
was?
David Koresh.
David Koresh. Yeah.
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 That's what, that was the early 90s, like 90
Oh, yeah, I
something.
was
I think
young.
that was it early or late 90s?
Mm.
It was just before the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh, then early, because I was maybe
Okay.
junior high when that happened.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with my stupid video.
Must have been a cheap venue for the meeting. That's the only thing. You think, why Waco? I mean, that's like San Antonio's close to Waco, right? Or relatively. Dallas, Houston, all big places. Okay, so the Oklahoma City bombing was in 95, so it was before that. So probably 93 or something.
Yeah, and it was what was that woman, Ruby or there was Ruby Ridge, and that one FBI lady. I think she was in charge or something. I forget what her name was.
I guess it was 1993 when Koresh died, so I assume that's when that happened. April
That's
of
when that
93. But yeah. Anyway,
So
it's nothing to do with bees at all.
Rodney
Absolutely.
was asking a non-bee related question too. This guy, it's ironic because he's a really big cat. Like, he's a big cat.
Fur
But
only.
He's so skinny. He weighs less than 10 pounds. He's really not very heavy. But he's, I don't know how to describe how big he is, but he's really big. You see me on my videos. What's that?
So my big cat, my oldest or my bigger one, he's about 15 or 16 pounds.
Oh yeah,
He's part Maine.
Sarah, that's right.
we have a cat that's quote not as big, and he's weighs more than twice as much as this guy. So anyway, that's all about Mr. Bootsy.
My laptop speakers are horrible, and I forgot my earbuds. I can barely hear you guys.
Snuggling Bootsy is like
Not missing much.
It's like cuddling a skeleton. This guy, there's not much meat on him.
So, Mike, have the show started down there yet or not?
I don't want to start till this weekend.
Yeah, I just got into. I swear I came here myself. I just got into town a couple hours ago, so I got to go set up in the morning, and I didn't want to be in a big rush because I've got a lot of stuff to haul in. One cart at a time by myself. I probably got about 2,000 pounds of frames with me that I hand loaded. I get the hand unload. So I'll get there early, right when they start letting us get in, so I can get up close and get it all unloaded and get out of there. Go find something to do for the rest of my day. I brought plenty of work with me to do, so I've got website stuff I can work on. Come back here at the hotel. My work vacations are just working in the hotel, so I can't escape it.
At least you get free breakfast, hopefully. With the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, everything else I'm basically paying for, so it's a
Better than the hotel I had in Virginia when I saw you. That place was like a crack house for sure. That hotel I stayed in. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Well, which one was that?
I stayed in a Ramada in Withville, and
Yeah.
the internet did it a lot of justice compared to what it actually was when I got there. Let's say
pictures
that.
from when it was originally built 20 years ago.
It was, and mine, it was like somebody stayed there and smoked 20 packs of cigarettes a day, you know? It was terrible. So I stayed out of it as much as possible, except to sleep. But so next year, obviously Brad just hasn't even put him in the building yet. So he's not thinking about next year at all.
It's unusually warm here. It might have been a bit cool last night, but still well in the high single digits below freezing at night. So I mean, the forecast tonight is still just freezing, so it's not very cold at all. Not for the bees.
It's
for sure.
0 Celsius.
They're calling for 0 tonight. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty cold, don't you think?
Not for bees.
In
No.
far as what, making them stay inside or what? I mean, my bees have been inside for a week.
For leaving the bees outside.
Oh,
It's not if it didn't get colder than that, I'd never wrap them or put them indoors or anything.
really?
No.
It was 90 at home for my bees today.
Yeah.
Really?
It was 92 when I got down here.
No, it's what, Charlie? What's -10? You got your little chart there. -10 C is what? It's
20
about
something,
8.
18, 20.
I don't know. It's around here someplace.
Well,
Here it is.
30, 24,
-10. A -10?
24, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
14 Fahrenheit. So that's about my threshold.
Now,
These
see down here, they've
These unwrapped wooden boxes, I don't like to go below that outside. But
down
down
around.
to that low,
Yeah, for
I'm
here,
not worried.
people would like get all crazy at 7, 6 or 7, -7, -6. You know, oh, it's 20 degrees. Well, yeah, it's going to be that way for 4 days. They're going to freeze to death.
Yeah. And you know, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on humidity too. I think if it was quite humid, getting that cold would be very cold for them.
Well, now today, the closer to the end of the day, the more there's a rain coming in, and that air got moist, and it made it feel twice as cold, and all that.
Oh yeah, like for example, for me, and I mean, I'm not anthropomorphizing my bees, but for me, I used to live on the West Coast for a little while, and man, it would get sometimes. The coldest I ever experienced there, I think, was about -10 C. But it was like -25 in Winnipeg, right? That's how it felt to me. It was really cold. I came to Winnipeg for Christmas that year, or one year when I was living out west, and it was -20, -30, and I was walking around with my jacket open most of the time. It didn't feel cold at all. But it's the humidity, it's that chill. It just gets to your bones.
So I was kind of coming up with an idea, Charlie. How you were saying that replacing the queen every year is what you were going to start doing.
Yeah.
But if you do that every year, then every year you got second year queens. What are you going to do with your second year queens?
I'll sell them, I guess.
Burn out old Dodge, $20.
Used car salesman Charlie.
No, they're those
burnout
overwintered
bees.
queens.
Oh,
Overwintered queens.
Yeah, you
Boil
sell a nuke for 220, an extra $25.
Riding through.
Well, what I was talking to Brad about earlier was, we started talking about packages and how the club had packages that were, pretty inexpensive. And I've got combs, so that's not a big issue. And then I was like, but if I'm going to do that, wouldn't it be better for me just to buy mated queens, take the old queen out and put her in a nuke, right? Old queen in some brood in a nuke, and then introduce the new queen to the old hive.
Yeah.
And then let the old queen continue her business until she can't do it anymore. Right?
Laying, like if you have equipment, laying queen is laying queen. She'll lay some brood, even if it's not the greatest pattern. That'll make a mating nuke for you. That'll help with your cell builder. That'll help boost a hive.
Yeah. Now I say replace it every year because of what I'm doing in management wise. I'm doing that rolling demery. But if you're not doing that, then that queen will last about 2 years. And after that, you need to get rid of her.
Well, for me, my problem is it's not grafting. I can graft as many queens as I want to. It's getting them to come back mated.
Mm-hmm. That's what my problem was this year.
Yeah.
So figuring out how many queens you need to graft to actually get the number you need back, right? And then you don't know for a month, right?
Well, I've been thinking about it. I've had experience over the years where I'd sell a nuke off, take 5 frame, but I have 5/5, pull the 5 off with that queen. And before the queens would come in, they'd have a cell already built and capped. And I say, sometimes like, you know what? I'm just going to let that one go and let them do it themselves in the springtime. And they work just fine. And I'm like, maybe that's, it's a walk away split, you might call it. But in the springtime, that kind of works for the most time.
Yeah.
You ain't got to buy nothing.
I just figured I would be kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? I would be stopping the swarm impulse because basically you're swarming that old queen out of there with some bees.
Yeah, because you're taking her out, giving her room to lay. That's the whole thing about swarming. You can stop swarming. I've done it for 2 years now. You keep pulling that brood out of there and keep giving her a place to lay. She will not swarm.
Oh, there went Mike. He did an Ian Stepler on us.
Yeah.
Boop, gone.
I've been here last couple of nights. They've been talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, is it just, if I got some 24 queens out there, which I know I got a few of them, and this year, this year, I guess it was, I numbered all my hives. I have a thing on my phone. I know what year that queen is and everything. So I've got good notes just on queens and what the age is. And I'm thinking to myself, if I can go in there in the springtime, pull her out and make a nuke and put it on the back burner there, or maybe, take her out and put her up where my nukes are, because I need to take some of my nukes in this January when it gets good and cold and put them in the spots that I need to fill in the production area. Why not repopulate the nuke area with my older queens and then
zombie nukes, right? That kind of transition to what Brad does. So it's like,
zombie nukes, and then in the meantime, do some grafting and all that stuff, and use that brood to fill them 2-frame mating boxes with cap brood. Yep. So when they come out, they're going to stay there. And then I'll just start, instead of me trying to introduce virgins, I'm going to go back what I did about 4 years ago. I'm going to go in there with a cap queen cell, that's about ready to hatch within a day and a half to 2 days. Put it in there and leave it alone for 2 weeks.
Well, when I was down in Florida, that's something that the guys said that they all did there. right? They just basically got a bunch of queen cells, and every single colony got a new queen cell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to grafting,
whether it had a queen or not.
when it comes to graft, I mean, all right, I grafted 30 queen cells this year on one of my grafts, and I got 28 out of 30. Oh, I can do queen cells real quick and easy, and I can put them in an incubator like I always do, and I know what the number, the days. And I say, all right, on this day here, I need to get this queen cells out of here and drop them in mating boxes.
Here's a new moneymaker for you, Charlie. You go buy $5 queen cells, put them in your incubator, hatch them, sell them for $20 virgins. Make $15 a queen to put them in your incubator.
I don't need to spend the $5. I can do it myself.
He's not understanding the business model.
Right. No work in $15 is what that amounts to.
It takes you about 2 days to make $15 on that. So
yeah, but the problem with that is my customer. I sold a bunch of virgin queens this year. I made pretty good money, but it's the same thing with selling a person a nuke. Well, how do you install this virgin queen? I've only been taught by the bee clubs to buy a mated queen and how to install a mated queen. They've never talked about installing a virgin queen. Then you got to sit there for 20 minutes telling
you open up the cage and let her walk right in the front door.
Pretty much.
I've had that. I did it a lot of different ways this year, and most of them didn't really work as well as I thought.
Did you just let her walk down through the top of the frames?
I've done that. I waited 7 days to where she's ready to fly. I put her in a cage. I let them eat her out, and I put her in there with attendants in. Every combination of ways to introduce a queen, except for a the box of screen you put on the thing.
Right.
That's the only one I didn't try. And I'm like, the only things.
So
have
you introduced virgins to like how strong are the colonies that you're introducing that virgin to? Are they quite a strong colony? Or
they were a good strong 5-frame nuke.
Okay. Because the ones that I do, typically the nukes are not booming. They're fairly I'll make a mating nuke, 4-frame deep mating nuke. I'll just pull a frame of bees and brood from something, put it in a nuke. So there's not a lot of bees, not a lot of brood, and I'll let them sit a few days just so I can get rid of the rogue cells, and then introduce a virgin on the top bars. And I don't think I've ever had one fail. I mean, I guess I don't know the ones that fail if they killed her or she didn't mate, but
I know
it's in the 90 percentile.
We've talked, like Mark Miller is on here tonight, I guess, but we talked about it, and we were talking about how he was developing that sort of like a timing box, nuke box with the double screens in there, and putting that virgin in on a empty frame. So the other frames on the outside of the screens don't have any brood at all. So if you pull, let's say you've got a mated queen in that 5-frame box and she's only laying on that one frame, and you pull her out and put her someplace else, and you put in a empty comb, and you put a virgin in there and just enough candy that he can eat within so many hours is what he was saying, and release her onto that comb. Then she can go out through the hole outside to get mated and back. But there's no brood pheromones in there. So the rest of the bees that's their house, they know they're absolutely queenless. And it seems he's saying that the acceptance rate goes way up. I don't know.
I've never experimented with anything because it's working, right? I'm not led to experiment with what works in my case, and I'm not saying it works in everybody's case.
Well, it's like
But
Todd. They're talking
why I
about.
ask those questions is because I would like for you to be successful too,
Yeah.
right? But
Well,
that's the thing. I don't have much experience to say, well, I tried this and it doesn't work. I've tried that and it doesn't work, and this works better than that, because I've only really tried one thing and it works great.
Yeah. Well,
So
now when I installed those queens, I had 2 springs ago. Them hives, they were production hives. I pulled the queens out of them, and it happened to where when I got the new queens in, it had been 7 days. So everything is completely timed out as far as the brood and the eggs and all that. I went through every one of them hives before I put that queen in there, and I cut out the queen cells on every hive. I shook all the bees off of, went through every frame. It took it felt like it took hours to do all that for the amount of queens I was doing. And I had, pretty much, I'd say about 100% acceptance rate as far as I can remember. But it's, it all deals with the brood. If they can make their own kinfolk, they'll do that and they'll kill your queen. If they got no choices other than the queen you gave them, then everything is.
So why wouldn't you just take a pro nuke, go around, shake a bunch of nurse bees in a pro nuke, like they do with the mating nuke, right? And then just scoop out a cup and put it in your nuke with some comb, go down the row, and then introduce your virgins to that.
If those mating, I mean, I've had that, and a lot of times I find that the bees will go back to the original hive, even though they're quote nurse bees.
Well, I thought if you leave your pro nuke open long enough, the ones that can fly back will fly out, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I had a lot of problems with getting population started on my. I was bringing brood out of the top of those demeries where you had the brood frames. I shook all the bees off and let the nurse bees come up there. I figured I had nurse bees because they were covering the brood. I'm just going to have to. That's the next phase of my queen ring is to figure out how to populate 2-frame mating boxes successfully. And I think the thing of it is like go back to brood, like Brad said about these zombie hives. Pull that old queen out of there with a couple frames of brood and put it in that 2-frame mating box and then get them started there.
And then just take another 2-frame box and put it on top. They'll start going up. And then you can just pull that 2-frame box off because it's going to have brood in it.
Yeah. And try to do it that way. Try to get an early start on it.
I'm going to try to do that this year. Well, I was thinking about it because I can spend money on buying packages. Let's say just for instance, $1,000, right? If you had $1,000 to invest in more bees.
I don't want to spend that much money.
Right. I'm just using it as a round number, right? So if they're $125 a package.
That's 8.
Whoops. Use my little calculator here. That means you could get eight packages. However, if you do it the other way, if you buy $1,000 divided by, I believe it's $28 if you buy more queens, right? If you start buying queens in bulk.
What you doing?
You can get 35 queens for the same $1,000. So would be better to buy the queens because you can expand your apiary faster than buying packages.
Then you're depleting your honey hives.
Not if you're only pulling a frame out here and there.
Well, you're still going to end up pulling the frame with the queen, but you're going to reintroduce a fresh queen, right? If you did it that way. It's just a thought process. I don't know. I like bringing that stuff up here because you guys will shoot it down. And I don't care if you shoot it down because that's the whole idea to tell me, Bob, that's a stupid idea. Don't do it. Or, hey, yeah, jump off the cliff and we'll watch and see what happens.
It really depends on your season, right? Like my season, I don't know what's so special about it. However, I've had really good success with that. Just a one framer. between the third week and the first week of June, one framer and a mated queen, that sucker will make me 100 pounds of honey.
What, and then put them in a 5 frame after that or something, or what?
Yeah, I could stick that right in a 6 frame and then start putting honey supers on top of that. I could grow fast. I mean, if it's a
They,
good queen.
they have no
Sometimes
choice.
They're not.
They have no choice there. If they don't grow fast, they're going to die quick.
Well, maybe they know that.
Well, I think it goes back to the whole length of the season and how all of your stuff is blooming in that window.
Well, and
so
don't
they always
forget
had that flow in pollen.
don't forget that Bob, you have that spring flow, and then you have that mid-season dearth, and then you have a fall flow, right?
A little bit.
And as you move, to colder climate zones, I'll put it, so moving north, generally, that summer dearth goes like this, right? And it gets smaller and smaller, and guess what? There's no summer dearth here. The summer dearth is gone. It's just that the spring flow and the fall flow are now one flow. And so when I put a queen in a single framer 1st of June, she doesn't take a pause. She'll grow right up to the end of August. She doesn't have that dearth in the center that stops the building of the hive, right? The building
Right.
of the colony. So she just grows for 3 months.
And I saw Cayman's video today where he was putting pollen patty on. I'm like, that's death for my colonies in most cases this time of year. If I put pollen on.
Yeah, why was he put that on her this time of year?
He was feeding the bees. I don't know why the pollen was on. Well, he said that he got it cheap and then he plugged the conference at Nobby, right? Oh, I got it for $2 a pound at Nobby. And then he started doing the liquid feed. So I don't know if it was more a plug for you to buy your pollen patties at Nobby or if it was something that he actually does this time of year. But here, if I put pollen on right now, if there's beetles in the colony, there will be beetle larvae in my colony. And that's not optimal.
Do they take dry pollen this time of year, Bob?
I put some in the tube and they don't seem to be hitting it at all. So I have in December, I've put some pollen in there, trying to give them a little extra start to the
Because that doesn't affect the
spring.
hive beetles,
Doug,
right? Hey,
No,
Doug.
not typically. If there's enough bees where they can protect it, it's not a problem. But if I just have it up there and they can't eat it fast enough, the beetles.
No, I mean pollen sub, dry pollen.
Yeah, that as long as they have enough bees to cover it and protect it, it's not an issue.
I did a little bit of experiment. I had one hive out there that had a really, really late mated queen, and she was laying brood, and I wanted her to build up now. Physically, I put a pollen patty on her. I've actually put 2. She ate the first pound in a week or 2 weeks, and then here I just checked it Saturday. 80% of it's gone on that second one.
Charlie, you're going to have me out there tomorrow slapping pollen patties on my damn colony.
No, I'm not saying. Now, see, on the other hand, 3 or 4 weeks
Come
ago,
back a week from now and they'll all be dead.
Listen to what I'm saying. 3 or 4 weeks. When I put it on the first time on the one hive that ate it up, I had another one ready. I had thawed it out. I put it on the hive next door to it that didn't really need a lot of help. That one's still kind of there. They're eating it, but not fast, so they don't need it. She needed it because she's trying to build up, bee population, and because she's young. But so no, I wouldn't recommend putting pollen patties on now at all.
Corey, I know some of the guys down in Florida were talking about they will start splitting for the almonds next month. To have them built up in time for the almond season, which I think, when do they send those out there, Charlie? And
a friend of mine's getting ready to send them out here in a week or 2.
I thought it was usually a little bit later, like February or
I'm going
something.
to say he doesn't have a date yet, but I'm going to say, let's say after Thanksgiving. Something like that.
I know the Arkansas beekeepers, they usually send them out third week of January or so, third to fourth week of January.
Well, I guess it would depend on who's brokering your thing and how many contracts they have to fill, right? So they might need them earlier and just start moving the same bees. I don't know. I've never been a part of that, so I don't know.
I don't know. Will's feeding right now and pollen patties and trying to just get them built up good and strong so they can, and grading them too. Just like, Bracken, he just went out there here this past week and dropped them off out there at Okies. And then Okies taking them and doing whatever, with them out there. He's kind of, I guess you call it the broker.
Right.
And he's also a beekeeper too.
Charlie, in that picture behind you, there's a white handle something on your box. What is that? On that first box by your shoulder,
It's a shim.
that white thing?
What? I mean that.
Oh, that's just showing through your back screen. That's what
aberration.
I was thinking, what is that? And it's
No.
something that's showing through your green screen.
It does look like a handle.
Yeah, it is, doesn't it? I don't know what it is.
It's something behind you in your.
It seems like the camera's not. I don't normally fade in and out and all that kind of stuff for some reason. I don't know why.
Doug, how you doing?
Good.
Killing any triceratops lately?
This week I got to get my license.
You got to renew it.
No, deer season here.
Deer season.
Hey, I want to go back
Good
when
night,
you
Darren.
guys were talking introducing queens. We never have any trouble with mated or virgin or cells. And if we leave a hive 24 hours, that's probably about the norm before we introduce.
That's
But
mine.
I think it's kind of like Brad said that, our bees are busy in a flow big time. So I think that makes a big difference when you're
That's right.
introducing.
That's right. That does help.
So Doug, when you say like 24 hours, so you literally would remove a queen and 24 hours later you'd be back putting a new queen in?
You betcha.
And you don't have to go through and knock down cells or anything like that? Or do you
I've never done that.
just
Wow.
put a queen in and they either
Yeah.
take care of it or one of those hatches out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say about out of every 50, we might have one, maybe two that never take.
Yeah, that's 90%, right? That's right along with what Brad was saying. I'm lucky to get 50% of my queens to return. And the
I
problem
hadn't
here,
thought of that because I hadn't thought of that when I was asking Charlie because a lot of mine are introduced during our flow,
Yeah.
so that'll really be helping out a lot.
So
here,
if
And the
you do,
other thing is you can feed them prior to introducing too if you don't have a flow.
Yeah,
Because fed bees are happy bees.
head bees are. I must be a bee.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to run to the washroom.
I'm a double
I will be
bumble.
right back.
I'm a bumblebee or something.
I'm a double bumble.
well, how about this? How about if you take some 1-to-1 sugar water with some peppermint oil in it, and you put that new queen in there 24 hours later, and spray everybody, and everybody smells the same? Would that work too?
Yeah, that's what I do, Charlie.
Huh?
That's what I do. I give them 24 hours. And I
Mhm.
take some sugar syrup with just a couple drops of lemongrass oil in it, and I spray everybody down and put her in. And by the time they clean everything up, her smells everywhere, and I usually have really good luck with it.
Nice.
Do you put her in a cage and she's let out, or what?
If I spray them, I don't. I spray them first, and I give her just a tiny little spritz and just let her go. If I don't spritz, I put her in her cage, and I just come back 24 hours later and just open it and let her out. I just block it up solid and just release her. I figured if after 24 hours, if they don't like her scent, they're not going to like her 2 more days later. So I just let it go, and I hardly ever have them kill one. Just it's real rare that that'll happen to me. It still does happen occasionally.
Yeah, it's something maybe I ought to do with my virgins is spray everybody down with peppermint oil and let her walk in. By that time, everybody knows her. Or have her 7 days old after she's hatched and now she's ready to fly, and just put maybe an eighth of an inch or a quarter inch worth of candy in the tube so they can eat it out within so many hours. Spray everybody down with peppermint oil, and then and even with her, spray her.
Sam
too.
here, he does it when he sprays them. He puts a little bit of vanilla extract into his sugar water. He says that
Yeah,
does.
I have-
something to make.
Everybody around here talked about peppermint oil, and I happen to have some.
Well, I'm gonna do a lot of that this coming year since I'm getting cramped for space. So I'm gonna do most of my queen mating in those 4-way defenders. I think I'm just gonna do it all that way this year. So I'm gonna have less cells to leave and nukes to hatch to just directly putting queens in. So I'll try to get a better idea this year of what kind of percentage rate of take they do.
Yeah.
Everything I put in is going to be mated and hatched already, and I don't want to start putting candy plugs in and trying to keep track of all that. I just want to spray them, drop them in, and go.
Well, I got that 4-way hive like you got, that Apame that was given to me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna run 4 of them this year. So I'll probably run 16 of them nonstop, and as soon as I pull one out, there'll already be eggs in there, and I'll drop another one in, and just try to keep doing it through the DERF too. That way I'll have extras in case somebody I know wants some. I can help them out and get them some.
I got to get some of your frames and all,
Yeah,
but I got to get it tore open and clean it up first.
Mhm.
But
I never kill a queen either. When we pull them, they always go in a nuke or something. You make use of them.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of time, and I had some where I pulled out, put them in a mating box, but I forgot to, I did put the sugar water to them. And I think I don't know, they did. They had stores in there, so I don't know whether they just got old and died or what. So, I'll have to do some more experimenting as far as introduction of queens. Or let them build their own. But that's, to me, I like to speed the process up.
I don't even like if I order queens. A lot of times, if I put them in, maybe spraying them down is the trick because I don't have much luck with that. They might release her, and she might get around there. But typically, what I find is they'll let her lay up a little pattern, and then she's gone, and they're making new queen cells. So it's like immediate supersedure for whatever reason.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's part of because I'm making all my own instead of bringing them in. Maybe that's part of why I have better luck with it. I don't know if that makes.
I don't know. I don't want to spend $40 a queen when I can make my own queens.
Yeah, yeah, we can make the queens. That's not the real issue for me. In the spring, it's the expansion, right? So if I do make a split and I grafted queens and I give them a cell, well, then that cell's got to hatch out. Then she's going to walk around for a week in the cage. Then she's going to, or maybe longer, and then she's going to fly out. And then I'm going to come back. So it's about a month time to find out, oh, she didn't mate or never came back. Now I have to repeat the process again, which by that time now I'm in dearth, right? and I end up with nothing. So that's kind of where the whole introducing queens early in the season, as early as I could get them, and split out the old queens and try to let them go that way. Don't know is the idea.
The way I do mine, so I try to do my splitting and I do my mating in my minis. So I'm not actually really splitting hives when I do it that way, and I'm letting them mate because I have a lot of them that get picked off and don't make it back. So, if I want 10, 12 queens, I'm probably making 20 of them to go mate because they're not going to make it. I time it around my flows. So I'm leaving my hives full, or I'm moving brood over and making mega hives, and they're out doing their foraging and collecting. And then by the time my first sets of rounds of queens are ready, I can see what's come back and what's mating in my little minis. And then by then I'm hitting DERF, and then I just decide what hives I want to completely break down since it's drying up anyway.
Right.
And I'll take one of those to make 6 or 7 or 8 nukes, and then just drop those queens immediately in and just keep on going. So I try to work with the DERFs as best I can without messing up honey flow too much.
Might be a Brad looks like a frozen floating head there for a second.
Because the Russians I've been breeding for all these years, they go into such a in the middle of summer in the DERF, they don't lay for weeks at a time. That's how the strains I'm breeding, that's what they do. So by the time I get my new queens that are mated in, it gives them just enough time to lay up a decent little patch of brood, and then they just stop for a few weeks, and then everybody kind of kicks back again in late summer and kind of they almost like equalize themselves because of the way they do their laying patterns. It's kind of handy that way.
We don't really have a dearth. Our bees will get busy in May. Our dearth comes with the first frost, usually in late August.
Man, mine starts in end of June. We're starting to dry up,
Yeah.
and it lasts until mid-September, late September. It's pretty drastic.
That's the same thing here. Hopefully I get a strong buildup on a few of my colonies. Usually are like packed out double deeps. That's the ones I typically start trying to split off of. But in the past, I've done it a little bit early, it seems like. So I've been waiting a little bit longer in the season to start doing splits. Maybe that'll be the way to continue to go, because it went pretty well. I didn't make a ton of splits this year, but I'm going to have to next year probably. So, Big Mike, you've been selling that honey you pulled out?
Yeah, I got someone coming to pick up another 36 pounds this week.
Nice. That's real nice. I got to go to my grandson's birthday on Saturday, so I'm not selling honey Saturday. It'll be Sunday this week. So,
one of the clubs I am in had a potluck last night and electing officials and stuff in a raffle. I won an overwintered nuke.
Awesome. Did they hand it to you while you're there?
It's a friend of mine that raises it too. I immediately text him, when can I pick it up?
After winter.
So I'm pretty sure I'll have at least one nuke in the spring.
One nuke in the spring?
Yeah.
Hey, that's insurance. If you lost everything, you have one nuke to start next year with.
I'm not starting from zero.
I never know from season to season what's going to happen, but so far I need to go to my out yard because there's one out yard, the nearest one to me, that has gotten no food. They've gotten a couple of Appy tablets when I've been out there, but they haven't gotten any no food at all. I have added nothing to them. It's kind of like, here's your house. You guys do what you need to do, and I'll be back. And that's it. Last time I was out there, I picked up extra boxes and equipment that were sitting out there to make it nice for the landowners, even though they've never said anything, just to make sure there was no extra equipment just sitting around. But other than that, I haven't touched those colonies since since I harvested.
Probably be your best yard.
I'm hoping, because next year we're going to do the whole, split those hives, bring them back here, right? Split these hives, take them out there, and just kind of round robin where the bees are going to move them around. At least that's the hope. Oh, thanks, Steve. I appreciate you, man. Steve is dedicated on the super chat.
Awesome.
I do appreciate that. At this rate, in 5 months, I will get a payout. It's true. True stats. For sure. But without that, it would take much longer. So Doug, all your bees in bed now? I mean, you got them all packed up for the winters out there?
Not really. About 2 weeks ago, we pulled the feeder pails off, and any that still had feed in them, I dumped into a bulk feeder, and we're getting temperatures where they've been out
Out on it.
planting and pulling in a bit of syrup.
Wow.
Brad
Yeah.
was telling me a story earlier. Who was it that you were saying? You don't have to say their name, but you said you knew somebody that got one of those big sugar totes and just set it out in the field.
Oh, it was just I saw a commercial beekeeper talk about that. Somebody, not in my country, I'll put it that way.
Oh, okay.
This is a big commercial beekeeper. Yeah, one of these great giant, I don't know what you call them. It's just a great big tote that would hold
Those
probably
soft
25
bags that are full with sugar.
probably 2,500 pounds of sugar in this thing. He just takes that off the trailer, sets it on the ground, and lets the rain hit it and saturate it, and it makes syrup, and the bees just lick it up.
Just like a
That's
big
how he-
open feeder.
That's how he open feeds.
I'd have ginormous sugar cubes stuck in a bag in the middle of my yard. It'd be here.
I use black
you
garbage cans. They hold about 30 gallons and put holes around the lid at the top, and
Oh yeah.
seem to work good.
Do you put any kind of float in there for them?
Yeah, I put a good layer of straw on top.
My straw, well, it's probably not pine straw like I use, but the pine straw that I use, it'll sink down after a while into the bottom, so I gotta have a lot in there. Brent Wells said,
Yeah. No, I didn't see it on the video. It was just a forum post. This guy was telling about what he was doing. But it
Sounds
wasn't,
like-
something I'm going to do or I've tried once and I don't know how it works. He says he does it all the time. And he said it works great.
it's my kind of beekeeper. Lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, lazy beekeeping.
Take it off the truck and let him go.
Yep.
But it seems like you wouldn't be able to control the rate that they were taking it, and you wouldn't be able to control the pests from getting into it, right? Like the yellow
No, for
jackets
sure
and,
not.
the
And the neighbor's bees.
and the
right?
neighbors' bees. But yeah, I'm gonna have to probably feed some more too. But it's been getting kind of cool at night. We had a couple nights that it was below freezing here, but it was in the 70s during the day, so it wasn't too bad.
This is the machine that I need for when I'm mixing sugar in my tote to get the sugar bags up there.
Doug will have one next season when you show him. He's going to order it
Yeah.
tonight.
See? This thing? Yeah, you watch it. You just watch how it works. Goes down and picks up a bag, goes over, and there's a little knife on the edge of the tote there, or on the tank, and it just slices it, empties it out. It kind of shakes the bag, puts it in there, and then he tucks it in. Tuck it in. There you go.
Just pops it.
That's what I need for mixing sugar. Shaky, shaky, shake.
I would pay for that thing, get it home, and it wouldn't work, or it'd rip the bags open over the pallet, and it'd have sugar all over the floor.
Go on the ground. Yeah. So that's on my wish list.
Yeah, that's what Brent said. Oh, okay. If you can fly, then you can eat. It's on the colony. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not going to work that well. Who's watching
Somebody's got their
TV?
YouTube going.
Yeah, I think it's my TV in the other room. I'll be right back.
Look at Big Mike making rookie mistakes. So you're still feeding, Doug?
Well, just the 1 yard where that feeder's in is getting a bit of feed, yeah.
So what's the verdict on the polyhives? I mean, how are they doing? Because it's been what, a couple years now that you've used them.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. What are we looking at?
They're all right. No complaints at
They're
all.
all right. Good.
All right, that's not a very definitive answer, Doug. They're all right.
How
Do
thick
you
are
like
those,
them? Do you
Doug?
not like them?
How thick are those, Doug?
1.5
Inch and a half. Okay.
It's like a license.
Same as the license that I have. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Lyson a little better only because it has that good plastic top kind of on the rim.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice feature. Top and bottom.
Yeah.
It's hard plastic.
But that, I mean,
do they state, Doug, do they state an R value on that box?
Oh, I think they might have, but I couldn't tell you what it is now, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
what was that company name? Remember? I know you
Beaver
gave it to me one
Plastics.
time. What was it?
I
Beaver
had it here,
Plastic.
but I don't-
Beaver
word,
Plastic?
Yeah, Beaver
Yeah.
Plastics.
bggrower.com.
Oh, Beaver. Oh,
I
Where they're
looked at them
really,
before.
it's really
they-
nice is like in the fall, there's no wrapping, no nothing. You're done
Yeah.
before you even start. And the same
Yeah.
thing in the spring.
that's what I'm looking for. Just
Yeah.
to save work.
Oh,
Then I
yeah.
can work
Did you-
more bees, right?
Did you even paint those, or you just left them natural?
No, I've painted them.
Yeah, you have to. The sun beats them up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they last quite a few years, but, you know, a coat of paint goes a long way.
I don't know. Like we bought some of the styrofoam. I bet I've had some, probably 8, maybe even 10 years out in the field. Those early ones from Bee Made, eh?
Yeah, the Paradise ones.
Yeah.
But those have got so many cutouts in the sides
Yeah.
that I really question the R value in those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You know, the Lyson one that I have, there's not even any handles on the long side. You know, and the handle on the short side is a very modest handle. It's not very much of a cutout. So I
Yeah.
really like that.
That's the same as the BG Grower ones. They're the same,
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're buying them for insulation value. I don't really need the sides hollowed out.
Seemed to me when I contacted them, they were really good prices on the box, but of course the shipping was the killer.
They
for
don't
me.
flat pack is the problem with them. And I don't think they even nest, do they, Doug? Because they're too wide.
No, but they'll stack them on a pallet and then fill the inside. But I forget, what did I say to quote you when I had them, Brad? About $38 a super or something
remember.
like that, I think it was.
Which was a good price.
Yeah.
I think
The license definitely a lot more than that. I'm probably going to buy more license boxes.
apparently I was talking to
I would-
Neil at Beaver Plastics.
I didn't even use the 6 that I bought. They're still sitting there. It just didn't work out this summer for me to use them, but I'll get them in use next year.
I would have bought about 50 Lyson if you could buy a bulk and get a half decent price on them, but nobody even seemed to stock 50.
Well, I order them through Mike at Dancing Bee, and he places his Lyson order probably about January 1st or so. So, you know, maybe he can get a better price if he buys more than just a few for me. So give
I guess
him
our
a call.
next goal with I guess our next goal with these, like we're still wintering in 2 deeps in most of them. But one of these times we'll get enough nerve and we'll just go to singles with everything and see how it makes out.
Oh yeah.
They're in Alberta.
Yeah, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm banking on it. I'm banking on that working. I'm building equipment to suit, so I hope they work.
Yeah, I like your lids.
Those are nice covers. Those are
Yeah.
expensive covers.
Yeah. But
But
they'll last.
yeah, they will. They'll last the rest of my beekeeping days. And I like the fact the polystyrene's inside, keeps the mice off of it. They like to chew that stuff.
Isn't this?
It's a bad year for mice. There's sure lots of them.
Yeah, sure
Here
is.
too.
I
Is
mean,
it?
right now, this apiary looks like this.
Yeah, so does mine. Yeah.
Green grass. I was cutting the grass yesterday. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Mowing the
couple of
grass.
The
17th
link
of
is pinned.
November, I'm cutting the grass. That's just unheard of.
I'm surprised that we only have 21 thumbs up in this whole thing. Only 21 people.
Oh, how come?
Thumbs up. We got 60 people watching this far in, and only
Yeah, broken
21
thumb.
thumbs up. That's a shame.
Don't like what you see? If you don't like what you see, not giving a thumbs up?
Not even a thumbs down. Just nothing. And here I am talking about lazy beekeeping. And now we see lazy beekeepers. Too lazy to click the thumbs up button. That's terrible.
I already did it, Bob.
Thanks, Brett.
I'm just busting y'all's chops, man. I don't care.
Yeah. Careful.
That's
Well.
because I had you blocked, Robert. I said everybody in the world can come in here but Robert.
Yep.
It is pinned. I just refreshed my thing to make sure. I didn't forget it, did I?
Where's the middle finger button? Brent says.
Where's the middle finger button? That's an emoji, sir.
They should have a middle finger button, eh?
I make that active for donations of $5 or more.
Give me the middle finger, but you got to pay me.
You got to pay me $5 to flip me the bird. No, just kidding. Oh my goodness.
Well, they just moved up my move-in day 2 days, so it'll be Tuesday next week. It looks like.
It's all the way over on the other side of the screen, but it's hard.
That's lazy.
So, Doug, do you find yourself this time of year where you're just kind of burnt out, ready for the winter with beekeeping, or would it make not? Does it really not even make a difference?
I'm kind of a little bit bored right now, I guess, but I got deer season on here, so I'll be doing some hunting. But then we get snow, and I can go tobogganing, and
You got snow
keeps me
machines
busy
too,
in the
right?
winter. Yeah. Yeah, put on a few 100 miles in the winter. Right now we got fall suppers on. Do you guys have anything like that? Community
We have what?
have a big supper, fall suppers. Our
Yeah,
communities
Thanksgiving.
get together. Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
community will get
Don't do it, Bob. Don't do it, Bob. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you did it.
He comes in 14 minutes till it ends.
I love fall suppers.
I've been watching the whole time.
It's like big turkey dinner. Community club puts on a big turkey dinner, and you just go from community club to community club for weeks.
You
It's
know, when I
awesome.
was a kid, it seemed like we always did have potlucks and stuff like that, right? People would get together, and whether it was like a chili dinner or something like that, but nowadays, nothing.
Well, when we were young, Bob, first of all, people knew how to cook.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now
Yeah.
you go to a potluck and it's all KFC and Tim Hortons.
Yeah,
I figure
there's-
a couple more suppers, I'll be able to teeter-totter with you, Brad.
Well, get working on it.
you You just reminded me of, for some reason, Young Frankenstein. You remember when Young Frankenstein was on the teeter-totter and he drops down and the kid shoots up? And doesn't he, like, don't they land in, doesn't the person land in the bed? I don't remember when it was done. That reminds me, I need to go fill my lunar wax melter. That's funny.
Okay, Charlie, I'm going to try your idea this year. Last year you said I bottled it too hot. So this year I'm going to let it cool overnight. We're going to see how this goes. Because
I can't bottle 1 pounders when it's too hot.
Well, last year I got foam on top of all my bottles. So I thought it was the new honey pump. So I just put it away. I'm not even going to use it. And then to make sure it's not the temperature.
Now, do you use a pump to pump up to the top, or do you have to lift every bucket up and dump it in there?
I bought a honey pump last year, and I bought the what's that brand? Hill. Yeah, Hilco. Thank you. Hilco's honey pump, and but I wasn't sure if it was the honey pump or the temperature. So this year I'm just eliminating both, and we're gonna go back to just hand bucketing it up there because I bought the pump because I tore my shoulder again. I had surgery on my shoulder to reconnect everything, and then I don't know, 6 months later I lifted that bucket up there and kind of retore it a little bit. So I bought the honey pump thinking that was good insurance, but I just decided because it kind of ruined all my bottles. I bottled like 300 bottles last time, and they all got foam on top of them in the spring. So this time I'm going to go without and try. Well, let it go to room temperature. I just pulled it out of the warming cabinet, and I poured 7 gallons in there, and then I've got a couple, 3 more buckets sitting over here. And
how long did you wait until you start bottling?
I'm going to start tomorrow night, 24 hours.
All right. So
that'll give you time to get to the top, right?
And let the air get to the top.
Yeah. So that's the goal, because like I said, last year it put a foam on top of every bottle, and I couldn't get, it won't come out.
Now, yes, Mr. Sammy says that's why they pay you extra money for your honey, is because that's the pollen. The little bits of pollen is still in the honey.
Yeah, that's definitely, honestly, I mean, I told you I won all those awards this year. I showed you all those ribbons from this year. We won Grand Champion and runner-up Grand Champion, whatever they call it, and then I've got Best of Show and 3 first place ribbons, and I mean,
and a check for $2.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
A $2 check?
Yeah. It might have been $3. I can't remember, but it was $2 or $3. What the winning check was.
The thing of it is, with your pump, did you pump it out of a bottle or a heated tank, bottling tank, and then directly into that, or maybe flow it directly into your bottling piston pump?
So I've got this. It's right here. Hold on. I just got on there.
What I'm getting at is, did you have a holding tank that was heated and you piped it directly into your piston?
No, I took the honey bucket the bucket out of the honey warmer, and I cranked it up. I got it up to about almost 105, between 95 and 105, somewhere in there.
That's too high.
Not the honey, the cabinet. I had the cabinet set somewhere between 95 and 105. And then I brought the honey in, and then I pumped it in, and then bottled it the same day, same whatever, a couple hours apart. But this year I'm going to let it sit overnight. We're going to see if that works. You thought that might?
Now, when you pour it in there, is there a bunch of foam on the top inside of your thing?
It's getting a little bit of some head up there. Not a lot, but it's getting a little.
What about the 5-gallon bucket you're pouring it out of? Do you skim that first?
Yeah, I put the cling wrap on top of it earlier and cleaned it off, and then I run it through this whatever this is, this fine strainer right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I run it through there to catch any. It's a pretty fine filter actually. When it's not warm, it takes a lot to get through that. And
How much
then
was that piston pump?
what's that?
How much did that piston pump cost you?
Well, you can get them for like $4.25 on sale. I paid $5.25, I think, for it, but I actually bought one, a used one. Well, it was not used; it was brand new, but it was off of like a pallet sale. I bought one of those for like $85, and I sold it to a buddy of mine for $85. Actually, he never paid me. That's beside the point. I sold it to a buddy for $85 when I paid for it, but I bought it for a spare. But this one, I've never had a problem with it, so I didn't have to see the point keeping two sitting around. But they're definitely worth the money. But as long as the foam issue gets fixed, that's the problem because that foam is terrible. Like it was about a 1/4 inch thick on all those bottles, and it filled on the shoulders of the bottle, so I couldn't just like take cling wrap and clean it. So it's like permanently in the bottle. You can't get rid of it. So it just sucks. But this year we're gonna go back to this is the way I did it the first 2 seasons, and I didn't have any problem doing it this way. But I don't know if it's the pump or the heat. So I just figured I'd eliminate both of them, and I don't have to worry about it. But it kind of is a kick in the nuts there because the fact.
Do you run a few before you actually start pumping it in? Like, do you run a few pumps of the honey into another vessel before you start doing your jars, like into a mason jar or something like that, to make sure there's no air in it?
Well, I fill a bottle first, and it's going to blow off air, and then that takes the first, and then the second one usually is good to go. But it doesn't really work that way. Like, well, once you get this fills, right. So this pulls. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what I'm pointing at.
Yeah, we can see it.
So what happens is this valve rotates and closes off this side, and then it pulls the fluid back like a syringe.
Right.
Then this rotates the opposite direction when you push the button, closes off the top, and then it pushes all the fluid out this. So it has to open this and open this at the same time. And then, close this, sorry. Open this, close this, and then it pushes it all out like a syringe. And then it rotates all back, and it sucks the fluid back in on the return. But it works amazing, and you can fill. It's very precise.
Once you get it dialed in, right?
Yeah. You got it dialed in right here with this screw. So you take this screw here and you adjust it, and there's a little magnet right here. And once you dial that in it's good to go on all your 1-pounders. So you can knock all your 1-pounders out. And then what I do is I leave it set to 1 pound. And then when I do 2 pounds, I just push the button twice because it happens so fast. It's almost instant. So I don't see the benefit in adjusting it because just push the button twice. You know what I mean?
How long has that thing been full right now?
I just filled it. Well, I filled it probably when your show started. So
a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I've been listening to you since your show started. So that's when I filled it, and it's still nice and warm. I'll tell you that. But
pump one out. Let's see it, man. You can't bring a pig to the show without showing us the pig. Let's go.
No,
pump one full.
I don't want. I'm gonna let it settle. I'm listening to this.
What's one bottle gonna hurt? You don't have to cap it. You can dump it back out again if it sucks. You can set it in the little filter.
I'd have to go get the air line. I don't have the air hooked up. So.
It's always excuses with you, man.
I know, right?
Why I can't do something? We want to see this thing.
Last time I pumped it live. I pumped it live last time, and I got grief from everybody. But it's all good. But
put some lipstick on it. That's right.
This year we're going back to old school. And it kind of pisses me off because, I paid like I don't remember, like $1,600 for that pump. I mean, those pumps are not cheap, man.
Oh, the same pump he's got on there for like $1,000 right now.
Probably
$800.
no. When I bought it,
Hilco's got it for $1,000. I just looked at it a few hours ago. Unless
I bought it when he first brought it out. Like it was brand new. It was like it was their first batch, and I paid like I think it was $1,600. It might have been $1,400, but it was.
Well, he's seen you coming.
I'll give you $85 for that other pump right now.
This thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, am I showing it?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good pump, but I just don't know if it works or not. Like I don't know if it's causing the foam problem or if it's the heat.
It's $8.99.
Damn it! That's the kick in the balls.
Wow, that's knobby price.
This knobby price is $8.99.
Yeah.
He has $1,000 on his website.
Yeah, $1,100.
Yeah. When I bought it, it was more than that. Like I said, it was brand new. It was their new.
Well, he's seen you coming.
Oh, I know.
He's seen you coming. Charlie said he saw you coming.
That's right.
Whatever.
Well, you know what? For what you paid for that filler is what I paid. That's what the current price is on my pneumatic valve that I use on my bottling tank.
Look it up real quick, Bob. It's on Vevor right now. Just go in there. It's called a paste filler, pneumatic paste filler on Vevor. Like I said, I know they're cheaper now than when I bought it because when I bought it, it was like $5.25, and I've seen them at like $4.25 around the holidays and whatever, or whenever they put their sales on. But I think their average price is around like $4.95, $4.75, something like that. Let's see. But it's called a pneumatic paste filler with a 7-gallon hopper. And then I bought this filter separate, obviously, because it sticks out. It comes with a lid, but I wish I could find this same bucket strainer that would fit, the cap of this. That way I could put the lid on it rather than plastic, but it's okay.
Maybe you should have bought something that handles honey and not that.
No, it's designed for honey. According to people.
Yeah, they usually say honey or liquid or.
Yeah, it's called a paste filler, but it says right on the thing it's for honey.
Looks like they got it says out of stock, $4.50.
There you go. Yeah, but like I said, I've seen them as low as $4.25 because in matter of fact, it was like right after I bought it. They shipped it to me, and like 2 weeks later, the damn thing was on sale for like or for $100 less. Just like my honey pump that is almost half the price. But hey, man, you need it when you need it. Of course, it's not that I'm using it now, so I guess I didn't need it too badly.
But so you're telling me that you finally got to start selling honey?
Oh, I've been selling honey for a couple, like 1,500 pounds a year, but what I want to get up to is about 4,000 or 5,000 pounds a year. That's the end game.
Yeah, but did you finally get and put it in shops and whatever? Or did you go retail?
Yeah, I'm in 3 retailers right now, but I would like to get into like 30 retailers. That's my goal. I'm in 2 wineries in a shop, so
you have to get into Kmart.
My goal is to get like
Kmart. Did you say? Kmart's out of business.
I would like to get into about 30 shops because just quick math, you know what I mean? Like if I could get them to sell, 5 a week, that would be fantastic. Something like that, you know what I mean? I'm not looking. I just want to at least clear at least 4,000 or 5,000 pounds a year is my goal. But right now I'm only at like 1,500. So I need more distribution. You still doing 1,500 pounds, Charlie? 1,200, 1,500?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, that last year I was at 85 hives. This year I'm down to. I think I told you that the last time I was on here. I had 55 hives killed at one property over the last year. I think it's crop dusting, but I can't really say. And I'm not trying to throw the crop duster underneath the bus there, but it's the only thing different between the two properties. One's being crop dusted, one's not. And like I said, I lost 55 colonies at the one location. So that's right.
Try to see.
This year I'm down to I think I put 45 to bed this year, roughly 45. Last year, like I said, I put 85 to bed, and it's just it took me a lot to get back up to 45 this year. I was down to 24, I think, at the beginning of the season because of I lost 100% at that place that's crop dusting, and all summer long, I kept bringing more colonies over to that facility or that location, and all of them died.
Well, that pneumatic valve that I've been using for the last few years was like $300 when I bought it, 300 something dollars. It's up to $789 at Better Be.
I looked at somebody had a used warm what do they call it? What do you have, Tom? What's it called? It's the warming bottle filler, whatever they call that. Heated bottle filler. Somebody had one of those for sale for like $395 or $495 a couple weeks ago on Marketplace. But it wasn't very big. It was only like 7 gallon or something, which is what this is. And I mean, that's not bad, but it's easier for me just to fill. Like tomorrow, I'm going to fill 300 bottles. And I can just do that a few times a year. So I only bottle like 3 times a year or 4 times a year, whatever it is, and I do a little over 300. So there's 300 plastic bottles right here that I'm getting ready to do. I think it's 360 in that box. And then I bought like 20 cases of 12 glass, and I'll fill those tomorrow. So that's my goal.
So how are you going to do that if you let it settle overnight?
Well,
you're going to be running it as fast as you can.
I'm letting it set it won't be settling in here. No, I've got, like I said, there's 3 buckets right there, and then I've got another 3 in the warming cabinet still. But my goal is to get these 4 buckets done. This is 4 buckets right here. My goal is to get that filled into these balls tomorrow night, and then I'll bring the other ones out of the warming cabinet tomorrow night and let them set overnight. But they won't be settling in here. No,
You don't have a bottling tank?
No.
A warming tank?
No, I mean, I have the warming cabinet, but I don't have like a tank. Only tank that I have is what's here, but this only does 7 gallons. If I did that, I'd put all week.
Well, my friend has the same kind of setup with that hopper up there. He never uses that hopper. He's got a heated bottling tank that he's got a valve on there, and it runs the line right from there to the pump or to the bottling piston.
That's what Lloyd has, right?
Yeah, that's what Lloyd's got. Yeah, he's got about 5 of those water jacketed tanks that probably hold at least a drum of honey.
Yeah, the one Lloyd has those big tanks.
Yeah.
I just have an 18-gallon tank.
The main thing of it is, number one, you want the honey to be settled and let all the air go to the top, and you pull that nice warm honey out of the bottom. It goes directly into your piston, and your piston just keeps, doing the thing. You don't have all that foam. Just like me filling bottles with my bottling tank with my 1 drip valve. I never fill a bottle. If I'm going to put honey in that thing, I fill my bottles first. And then let's say I'm going to put 2 buckets of honey in there to fill that tank back up. I let that tank settle for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem in the past doing this, but I didn't have it as warm, and I didn't have the pump. So that's why I was just going back to what I used to do. And I never had any problems with it. I just do it at room temperature usually. The machine doesn't have a problem with it, so I haven't really had much problem with it. But we'll see. I'm going to try it again this year and go back to the old way and see if it works again. But I know last year's was a disaster. Last spring was a disaster. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just fingers crossed that I don't end up with a mess again.
Shouldn't.
It just sucks because my shoulder's not great, and now I'm lifting, 6-gallon buckets full of honey up above my head again. When I spent all that money to buy a pump. And I'm sure it's just me that the problem, you know what I mean? I know that.
I'm sure that's what the problem is.
Charlie.
I'm not denying that, man. But
It's always been the problem.
right. But I am just not going to take the chance because, like I said, I still have I don't know, a couple dozen bottles that are setting aside from the spring that I don't want to sell because it's got all that foam on it. So I thought about I only do one sale a year. It's our
Just
local.
take the lid off and empty them back out.
Well, I was thinking.
Then you're only wasting a lid if you're using the little lids like we do.
Well, the bottle will be ruined because it's got the foam all stuck on the sides of it. So I'd be
You can rinse those out though.
Is it glass or plastic?
They're plastic.
Yeah, just
Throw
take it
away.
off and empty it out and rinse the bottle out and start over again once it dries.
Plastic, I just throw them away.
Yeah, I've been debating it. They're all 2-pounders. I don't sell
If
2-pounders anyway.
you're going to be able to reuse the honey, the bottle isn't the expense; it's the honey.
Right. Yeah, man. I tell you,
You got cases of bottles right there. Just dump them in a bucket and put it back in your warmer and let it settle back up.
yeah. The big expense this year for me is labels, man. I went to order my labels and they've kind of like doubled the price on them, unless I want to jump my quantity up. Last time I was able to buy 250 labels for 17 cents a piece, or maybe it was 18 cents a piece, but it wasn't too much. Now they want 42 cents for 250. If you buy 1,000, they'll bring them down to 17 or 18 cents, which is what I paid last time. But I mean, that would be I would need, because I have 3 different sizes because I have the barcodes on them. So I need 6 different labels at 1,000 labels a piece at 17 cents. It's like $480 or something like that. And so I'm not looking forward to that bill. But the way I've checked around, I looked at like 30 different sites and priced the same labels at like 30 different sites. I was going to post it on here. I have them all listed out in a spreadsheet, but yeah, I mean, they're still the company's still one of the cheapest, but damn, are they expensive. I even looked at your Avery labels, and your Avery labels were 15 cents a piece unprinted. So,
yeah, print them. I buy them. I usually buy them on Amazon. They're like when I buy them on Amazon, I can find them for like 11 cents a piece. If I'm not necessarily buying the Avery brand itself all the time.
yeah, I looked at the off brands too, or whatever, and like I said, the cheapest ones I found are still the ones I did before. But then again, I am looking for waterproof labels because that's just what I'm used to. The thing I like about my labels is you can, on the glass jars, you can drop them in a pot of hot water and it doesn't even affect the labels. You can't even tell it. So they're really high quality labels, but like I said, you pay for them. Hell, they're more than the
Well,
bottle.
if you're doing them that many times a year, you might as well just suck it up and buy 1,000 at a time.
Well, like I said, I have 6 different labels I have to get because I have 3 different size bottles. And I sell all of my 1-pounders the same price, which, on the glass bottles, I lose like whatever, 40 or 60 cents a piece. But
Right.
the label cost me more as much as I'm losing. So it's like, I might as well just sell all my 1-pounders the same price. And I let the customer choose what they want. And oddly enough, the glass doesn't even sell as well as the plastic, even though they're the same price.
I'm
People
about
still
ready
pick
to jump
plastic.
off.
I don't give them choices. I limit my stuff and they buy it.
Yeah, but the wineries don't want plastic. You know what I mean?
And just buy separate labels for those.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying though. If I have to buy 1,000 labels times 2, and it costs me.
How many is the winery buying?
Well, I've got them in 2 wineries in a store, and so, I mean, yeah, I'll use 1,000 eventually, but it's just the upfront.
I buy them 2,000 at a time. I can't spend my days chasing shit and looking and wasting my time. My time's worth something.
Yeah, well, it ain't worth that much.
It is to me.
It's just too much, man. Like I said, to buy 1,000 labels for the 3 bottle lines, it cost me, it's $480 for the 3 lines. And if I wanted to do like
1,000 each, or
It's
1,000,
$170 per sticker line.
yeah, times, what is the math? What's 170 times 6? So
it's over $1,000.
what? No, 170.
170. 100 times 6 is
Oh,
600.
there you
It's
go.
1,020.
Yeah. So that's what it would cost me to buy labels for all 6 lines or all 3 lines, because I have to have a front label and a rear label. Unless I can figure out, I mean, I'd have to change my bottle layout and my label, because like Bob, don't you get away with 1 label on yours?
Me?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
you put
because they're
one?
buying in my front yard.
No, I mean,
Some people don't even care to have them. They don't care about the label that much, but legally, I'm supposed to have the nutrition label on the back, right?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the nutrition label on the back.
Mason jars just get a label on the top. I don't even put anything on.
Why do you need a nutrition label?
Because I put them in stores.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not selling them. I'm retailing them.
I'm selling them too.
Well, you're selling.
I sell the front label, the front information, contact, and whatever, and my, crystallization / baby label on the back. That's right.
There's
Right
Jolly
there.
label.
And then
That's
you got the warning label on the back, and that's it.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I have not. I looked at the new labels just this last week.
If you got 2,000 pounds of honey, you're going to sell 2,000 labels either way, right? So
yeah,
I mean, the bigger quantity
that's just business. I mean,
I know. I just last week
one label fits all.
Went to buy labels. I was like, Jesus, I'm just getting ate up. So
that's where
I've got so many different SKUs. It's cheaper for me to print my own, right? So many different sizes. So it's cheaper.
I thought about like taking the poundage off the front label, even though legally you're supposed to have it there according to the regulations. But I thought about taking the front label off, the poundage off the front, and then putting like a little like a clear label over the top that just had the poundage.
Just have it print a line where you can write in by hand.
Yeah,
1 pound,
what
3 pounds.
I have a line. I can put whatever weight I want on it.
Yeah. So if I did that, that would save. I could do, just 1 label for all my fronts, and then if I did the back, but I have a barcode for each one on the back, so I have to have 3 separate ones for my barcode, unless I
barcode for
label, which, like I said, it all becomes just a mess. So that's why it's like it's easier just to buy the front label, the rear label, and just be done with it. But they used to let me buy 250 at a time, so I would buy 1,500 labels, and at 8 cents, and that wasn't bad. But now they changed the price where now I have to buy 1,000 labels to get the same price. Otherwise,
how many bottles you selling? 1,000 bottles?
Well, I mean, I'll sell over 1,500 a year because I'm selling like.
What's the problem?
Well,
I mean, you're going to use them. I mean, it's like I bought my sticker on the back of my honey there. That's the warning label. I happen to have what do you call it? A sale price from Better Be, and I bought 5,000 labels. Did I use them all in 1 year? No. I don't want to buy labels all the time.
yeah, I'd get it.
And I buy 500, and I got 1, 2s, and 3 pound labels, and I got them already, 1 pound, 2 pound, and all that. And I buy I know they're my number one sellers. I have a tracking of how much I sell, and I'll buy at least 500 labels of each, at least.
They're not going to go bad.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I said, it's just an upfront cost of $1,000 or over $1,000, and I just bought bottles of same kind of a thing. I just spent like $500 in bottles this week, so I really couldn't go out and drop another $1,000.
I bought 6 cases of bottles myself, and that was about $500 or $600.
Yeah,
that's good for. I bought double the amount because I was running out last year. Had to buy some right quick from the club to keep me going until they went up and get some. So double my order. I mean, that's just part of business.
You just sell another tree and you're good to go.
Huh?
I said, you just sell another tree and you're good to go.
They come to me. I don't go out to the fairs or any of that crap.
We just do one event a year. Like I said,
I will say that yes, I am lucky. I do have you might call it a storefront, i.e. the sawmill office. I had one gal come in today. She texted me, "I'm coming over. All right, what do you need? 2 1-pounders, okay."
It's crazy. I have a lady that gets 3 pounds every 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't even understand how she can consume that much. I mean, good for her. I'm thinking she's going to be a diabetic. I'm going to get sued for turning her into a diabetic.
I don't care. I got one gal comes in, she gets 2 3-pounders. All right, give me $72. No problem. She knows what the price is.
Yeah.
Out the door she goes. All right, I'll see you in about a month or 2.
That's pretty good if you're getting that kind of money for a 3-pounder. I get 27, I think, is what my 3.
Oh, you're giving it away.
I can't sell 3-pounders, man. People don't.
I get $36 a pound, or $36 for 3 pounds. It's $12 a pound across the board. No discounts.
The problem we have here is we have a Rural King right up the road, or not too far from us. And
what about it? I got Walmart
3 pounds for $7.99.
Well, you got to give them the rind of shit. It's like, oh, well, go down there and buy from Rural King. You like that nice, good Chinese honey, go right ahead and buy it. And they're like, what? You tell them all about it, and they're going to buy your product. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
You got to have some salesmanship around you. It's just like, have you started carrying your honey in your minivan when you went to the ball games, and so you can sell somewhere?
No, I don't.
But yet I go to the VFW on a Sunday afternoon, and Ralph's up there, and Ralph said, "Hey, you got a 2-pound bottle?" Sure do. Let me go out the car and get it. $24 in my pocket.
Yeah.
We have ladies that come in and buy 10 7-kilogram pails.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's over 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the one lady doing 3 pounds every 2 weeks, man, I'm always impressed. Like, I swear, I feel like I should be giving her insulin shots on the way out. I mean,
that doesn't even go into my mind. It's just like, where's the money at? Here's your honey. See you later. Yeah. Come on back next month.
I have one customer. They don't buy too often, but they buy it for their dog.
Yeah, I got one of them too. I cure dogs, people with allergies and everything.
Dr. Charlie.
Yeah.
I got one guy. I said, "You need this 3-pounder right here. Put it all on the, sprinkle it on all the, drizzle it on the dog food. He'll be in good shape." Sure enough, come back. Yeah, he's doing great.
Man, you got some snake oil too?
Huh?
You got some snake oil too?
I got another guy who swears by my stuff. He was so bad off. He would dig his skin and get the bleeding so bad. And now it took him a long time for me to cure him. He said it took at least a couple months. You know, and now he's not 100%, but he's 80% better. So he's a good, he's religious customer. No problem.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the live stream tonight. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with us.
Getting caught up with like the FDA or something like that.
For what?
With Charlie's cure. Over
Magic cure.
Yeah. You can call it whatever you want. Honey, placebo, whatever.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for stopping by. Good night.
Yeah.
And I
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.